Thank you to everyone who's joining today. This is just a brief webinar to show you our new app Audit. What we'll do at the beginning is we'll just do very quick introductions. As you can see, 3 of our team on the webinar here. We've got myself, Danny, who's in the customer success team, Jenny in blue, who heads up our customer success team, and Fadwa, who is our partner manager. So today in the webinar, we're just going to do a brief discussion of what Provision Point Audit can do. Then we'll do a brief demo of the app. Then afterwards, I'll pass over to Fadwa, who will discuss the pricing. And then we've got a little section at the end for any questions and answers. So what I'll do is just briefly explain the point of our new Audit app. So it focuses primarily on being a tenant-wide reporting app for customers within Microsoft 365. It's currently focusing on guest users and soon we'll be able to report on external sharing as well. Now, it can report in the context of an individual site or team, an individual guest user, or across the tenant as a whole. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Jenny or Fadwa, let me know if you can't hear it very well. Here is a demo of our new Audit app. It's now available as a custom app and will be available in the team store soon. I've already installed it in my environment, which I'm now accessing. So our new app, it gives you tenant-wide auditing and currently helps you identify the guest users in your tenant and the areas that they have access to. So we currently have 3 guest users reports. We have tenant-wide guest users report. This reports on all the guest users across the Microsoft 365 tenant and the role they've been assigned to. We have the guest users by workspace report. This reports on guest users in a specific workspace and again the roles they've been assigned to. Now we also have our specific guest users report. So it reports on the permissions assigned to a specific guest user across all the workspaces. We'll start with our tenant-wide guest users report. So we click on the report we want to access here. Then under report criteria, just click on request. You'll see a report is then generated of all the guest users in my tenant. So we've got various columns of information, our display name, the email address, the name of the workspace they've been given access to, as well as the URL of that workspace, the type of the workspace, so if it's a team, a site collection, and then the role they've been given access as, so either in this case we've got visitors or we've got members. The date they were created in the tenant, whether or not they're pending, so if they're actually yet to sign into your tenant, and whether or not they are also disabled. So you've also got the option to export this report if you've got many guest users in your tenant, or you might just decide to go away and make any changes, or alternatively you're happy with all the guest access you currently have. So let's go have a look at one of our other reports. We can go back here in our breadcrumb. Now let's look at our guest users by workspace report instead. So I know I set up some external projects, so I might want to check who's got access to these. So for example, I've got one for Contoso Bank. We'll select it and then click request. So here I can see Danny and Johanna. They've been given access to my Contoso Bank workspace. Danny's been invited as a member. She's not pending, so you can see she has logged in and accessed it back in June 2023. And Johanna, she's been given access as a visitor, but it's still pending. She's not logged in and accessed the tenant yet. While you're in this report, you might want to go ahead and look at guest access to another workspace. So what we can do is just go here and change the report criteria. I'll go look at one of my other projects. Request that one instead. So again, you get the same display information, just on a different workspace. Again, you've also got the option to export it. You might be happy with your guest access, or you might want to go away and remove the guest access instead. Now, lastly, we'll just look at the specific guest users report instead. So go back in our breadcrumb. Go to the specific guest user report, and now you can search via guest user instead to see all the workspaces they have access to. So for this example, we're going to look at Diego. Now this has given me a report on all the workspaces that Diego has access to as a guest user. So I can see there's a total of 2. We've got Coho Winery and our Northwind Traders. The URL of the workspaces, they're both site collections. And he's a visitor to both workspaces. Again, if you've got guest users who have access to numerous workspaces, you can export them all and filter the report as required and go away and take the necessary actions. So that is a demo of our app so far. Obviously, you can see at the moment it's just focusing on guest user reports. We are working on external sharing reports as well. So that will be in the next release of the app. To come soon as well, something that we are working on is actions that you can run from within the app, such as removing a guest user. So they're things that we are working on currently. And I'll pass over to Fadwa, who can just quickly go through the pricing.
Yeah, thank you, Danny. And as you see here, you can purchase this audit app through Provision Point Premium, or you can purchase it as standalone application. So basically it's licensed as Provision Point app is licensed. It's based on the number of Microsoft 365 users, excluding the guest users. As you see here, I've added the US dollars and euro pricing, but there are many other currencies. I can send that to you privately if you'd like that. However, for the dollars, you can see for the 250 users, it's 1,750 K dollars. And for above that, there will be the instance price plus $1.5 per user. And same goes for the euros, and there are also different other currencies that I can send if you'd like that. And also the premium prices, if you cannot find that, like I should provide that as well if you'd like that. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Fadwa. Thank you everyone for taking the time to join us today.